brought my whole case out on a walk with the dogs today, so I thought I would do a collection overview. This thing sounds funny right now. It's got a full ceramic bearing in it, but I can hardly hear it. Weird. Anyways, so this is a ATS Mini in the M390 steel. It's also a ring spinner. You can take out the center button and put your finger through it. It's kind of fun to do like that, but I don't like having the extra pieces of the buttons separate in my box. Love this one. This was a gift from Dean. I wish I knew why the bearing sounded funny, felt funny. It's a little off right now. Not gonna dig into it, filming with one hand here. Gonna go in order with my spinners right now. Got the FocusWorks Axis Micro Mini. This is the, oh, it's not the smallest, that's the Nano, but smaller than the Micro. Made some superconductor buttons for it. It's got a cap Type C bearing in it. One of my few good ones. Awesome spinner. One of my most carried. I've also got, get this slip out. Got this leather slip for it. It's for a coin, but it fits it perfect. Put a little slot in it. Carry it everywhere currently. I absolutely love this thing. The size is great, the weight is great. Good gyro forces. The bearing is crazy loud with these buttons. It's easy to flick, it's easy to rip. Good spin times, plenty of inertia. It's a good spinner. It might just be a little small for some people, but I got pretty small hands, so it works. Onto the Axis Micro from FocusWorks in tungsten. Also a C bearing. You can hear how much quieter it is. Some crazy noises and huge gyro forces. It's my favorite thing about this spinner. I like the retention system too for the bearing, so you can actually swap it out to other ones. But man, long spin times and just, it'll really kind of rip. Pretty awesome, but not my favorite. It's just a little too big, too heavy. I mean, I really have to stretch my hands and fingers out to get the right leverage to get it really warping and going. Yeah. Hey, Luna. Torque bar mini in zirconium. Got this on trade from Amanda recently. Absolutely love it. This thing is awesome. It's got an unknown hybrid ceramic bearing in it. It's got some silicone nitride balls. There's 8 of them. They're the larger balls, so it's got really thin races. But it's got like a low whir ceramic noise. Really good spin times for such a small spinner. It's got to be that bearing. Wish I knew what it was. It's probably like some FZ bearing that you can't get anymore, or not at the current moment. Love this thing. Been carrying it a lot in this pouch. Fits in there perfect. Also not made specifically for it, but it works. Conceptual Designs Amaryllis, I think is the name. Named after a flower in zirconium. Polished zirc. I don't know what these buttons are from. Amanda didn't know either. Got this from Amanda also. Same with the Torque Bar Mini. It's got a hybrid ceramic in it. It's like a FZHC3, I think. Same thing that came in the, it's the one that came out of this bearing, or out of this spinner. The one that comes with stock. Took it out because I put that cap C in there. And I tried every bearing that I have in this thing. And the high feedback, high noise bearings really didn't sound good because of how much this spinner amplifies feedback and sound. This hybrid ceramic is my favorite one, even though it's pretty quiet. It's really smooth and just has the most pleasant sound because of how this spinner is designed. It's kind of nice having a quiet one every now and then, whenever most of these have a full ceramic that's geared towards noise. Lofty chest pawn. This is a, I don't forget if it's all stainless or copper nickel. Got a shielded bearing in it that is lifeless. Not a fan of the bearing. I need to change it really, but it's really just a showpiece, not something that I'll really fidget with that much. Staying with the spinners. torque bar SB in stainless. This one is a scam stamped one. It's also got a cap type C bearing, so the silicone nitride black bearings. Really like how, I don't know if it's a stainless or the torque bar's design, but feedback and sound with this bearing is superb. It is freaking awesome. I love the noise, the sound that it makes. It's so good. Tungsten cap horizon. So the normal size tungsten with a cap type C bearing again. Quieter with the horizon zirconium buttons. I got these flip flopped right now. You'll see next. Pretty quiet, fun to rip. This is my second favorite tungsten spinner. Micro Mini's still my favorite. This one you can still really get it going pretty good. And I spun this one for almost 7 minutes the other day. Just like this, just hand spun and just sat here, didn't move. 7 minutes. Crazy good bearing. All the cap C bearings are, my batch of my 10 were hit or miss. I've got the ones that work in my current spinners and the other ones are either broken or spin terribly. Cap Horizon and Zerk. This has stainless buttons on it. Ooh, heard a crazy noise. Cap C bearing again. Great noise from the zirconium. It sounds even better with the zirconium buttons, but these stainless buttons don't sound too good on the tungsten one. It eats up too much of the noise. So I got these on here for now because the combination of the two, this makes the two the most pleasant. Because this still sounds good with the stainless, but would sound even better with some superconductor or zirconium buttons. So probably gonna have to make some of those myself or something. I don't know, we'll see. Wee Knife, SP01 or SP02, I forget. They're just named in order, not based on bar or tri spinner. Just a super cheap, well-made titanium spinner. It's got like a proprietary bearing system, so not R188. Some shielded hybrid ceramic. Good noise, good feedback. Super cheap. I mean, it's I don't know. For a cheap spinner, it's really hard to beat. No hot spots, very flickable. I would buy another one again if I lost it, even though it's very cheap, very inexpensive. Yeah. Mackie Captain and Zerk. I've got a loose magnet right now, but this is one of those, I guess, multi-fidgets. Yep, we got sliding plates that they're on ball bearings. There's 2 balls and 2 magnets. It just goes up and rolls back to the position where the magnets are attracted. Pretty fun to play with, but yeah, like I said, I've got magnets loose on this one. Yep. Got a really quiet bearing in here because with the moving plates, loud feedback bearings make things rattle and it sounds cheap. So a very smooth bearing in this one. Sounds really nice. This is the Unquiet Hands Nibiru 2.0. There's 10 zirconium oxide balls and they're very smooth, very tight tolerances. Pretty cool bearing if you like, you know, minimal feedback, minimal sound. Let's do haptic coins next. Mechanical haptic coin. Metal Toys Spark C. No, Metal Toys Top C Spark. That beautiful thing distracted me whenever I was trying to come up with the name. Great fidget. Haptics are great, sound is great. I've changed it to all ceramic balls, slightly different sizes from stock, and it's awesome. Smooth, good haptics, good sound. It's not annoying for most people in the room, especially if there's any kind of noise at all in the room. No one else is gonna hear this thing. I've got the ZZ plate in there. I'd still like to try the other plate with less clicks, but this one's really grown on me since it's different from any other magnetic haptic coins. I would hardly even consider it a haptic coin just because it's so different than the magnetic ones. Yeah, really like this thing. Play it a lot, play with it a lot. I got a pouch made specifically for it. I don't have that one with me currently, but yeah, it's good. Next favorite haptic coin is the AC EDC Milk Lid and Blasted Zerk. I absolutely love this one too. I would only have both of these, but I consider them to be Hey Scoots, I consider them to be different categories, so I would have both if I could only have one haptic coin, because they're different types of haptic coins. This one's so good. Doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, I guess if you do it like this, where you really pinch it and push on the inside flat face, it doesn't click as much. It still kind of does. Man, anything you do on touching the edges, the radius edge, it's gonna click, and it clicks well. It's great. The Lottie haptic coin, you gotta really be right on the edge to get noise out of it. Even on the edges, it's still kind of muted sometimes. This one's made of titanium, so it's, I don't know. I guess it could be just as good as far as haptics go, but something to do with the tolerances and the internal design, it just doesn't click and rotate quite as smoothly and as crisply between transitions from magnet to magnet. And it's crunchier sounding with the bearing. That could be the titanium for sure. Another coin is the Spyro coin this is from ATS as well, same as this guy. 2 circular magnets on the halves, no clicks, nice and quiet, not much feedback, but nice if you need to be quiet and fidget at the same time. ATS clicker bead, can put some paracord through there and put it on things. I just don't know what I want it on right now. Love this thing too, because it's so lightweight and kind of inexpensive that it doesn't hurt itself if it's dropped. It's a nice little piece. It's got good feedback, good haptics. It's a little hard to manipulate. I've handed it to some people and they've just been like, what do you do with this thing? They try to spin the parts and they can't figure out where to hold it or what motions it takes. So it's a little awkward for some, but one skinny half, one fat half. It's not bad once you figure it out. It's a small learning curve. Onto sliders. Compiform Triquatra V2. This thing jumps around in my rankings all the time. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't care for it that much. Right now I really like it. Fidgeting with it really well, it's really smooth, everything feels nice. I think it's beautiful. Machining, the artwork, the design, it's really nice. But it's, I don't know. It might just be the design of how it is and where all the opposing magnets are. I just wish it snapped into place harder. That clicks well, but it's almost too loud at times. I would just rather use something that's a better clicker, really. Compiform V1.1. Still probably my one fidget to rule them all. You give up a couple things, like, spinners are kind of in a whole different category, but still, if I could just have one fidget, one thing in this whole box, it'd be this guy. I have hours and hours and hours on this one. It is so well used. Sometimes it squeaks on me now. Gotta talk to Ivan about that and see what's up, but man, it works so good. The action's good, the sound is good, the size is good, beautiful design, good engineering. Just fucking knocked it out of the park. V1.1 is king of fidgets for me. Literally, if I had to sell it all, this is the last one that would go. Absolutely. Compiform V3 Allure series, same with the illusion pattern. Really like this. I even ordered a second one that I'm hoping I'll like even more. I'm not gonna say which one yet because it's not here yet. But once I get that one, probably gonna sell this one just because I don't necessarily want to have two. I just think I'll like the other design on the face more. It's a Thunderdome one, but there's something unique about it. I was asked to not spill the beans on that until I have it, so I'll leave that at that. If I could only have one chocolate slider, it would be this one. The Magnus stuff, these Zerk plates, they gum up sometimes, and man, it's annoying when they do. And whenever you get any kind of debris and dirt, the Zerk is softer than the titanium, and the high contrast of the black versus the silver Zerk under, if you get it scratched, you just see the scratches more. And that, yeah, it just, you get a slow action sometimes with the Zerk. So I don't know, I love Zerk, but I'm not sure it's the best material for sliding plates. I think some makers already know this, and I'm having to figure it out as a collector. But yeah, I don't know, it's that's starting to drive me nuts. It's making me pick up the rail much less and the V3 much more, because that never happens. It is always fast ladders, no matter what. Titanium versus in this pattern, the sliding plate pattern, there's hardly any friction at all. Never sticks. Oh, onto this one, the titanium pebble. Still Zerk plates, but these plates are not flat. They've been curved and they've been really beat up, lots of scratches, but for some reason this one fidgets really good. It does all the ladder moves very good, never gets stuck. I think, not sure, could be that it has the titanium plates so they weigh less, but man, it's a good fidget. Better than the zirconium pebble, which I actually have for sale right now, because it is also slow sometimes. Like this one, I just found myself using this one more, so while that one was still minty, I wanted to post it for sale, because why risk damaging something that I don't really like that I would probably end up selling one day anyways. Yeah. Mackie CP2. Used to really like it, still really like it, but I don't know if I would buy one of these again if I lost it. The CP3 is just better. I like the magnet clicks on this one more than the mechanical detents. They're just a little too soft. So yeah, it's good, but CP3 is better. Look at this sweet dog. She just laid down beside me. This CP3 is got it used, well used. I'm still using it, but I have another one currently in the mail that's a new one that has some glow and some opal in the grooves. So this one will be sold once I get it, but I still enjoy using this one, even though it's kind of, the tolerances are just worn out. Like the posts are pretty beat up and the tracks are a little beat up, so I'm hoping the newer one will just be a little tighter and I'll just be able to appreciate it a little more. Not that anything's wrong with this one, I want one that's very solid on the inside, because I highly doubt I'll ever beat a new one up as bad as this one is beat up. That's the good post. The other post has I just might as well show it. It's been narrowed to a point and has a divot in the middle of it. So it just rattles around a little bit whenever you're fidgeting with this one. You can feel it kind of like double click and rattle as it comes into place. So yeah, tape helped. Without tape, it's actually really bad and rattly. I kind of hated it. CP2 Nano, no, CP3 Nano. Awesome little thing, little fidget. It's really good. I really enjoy it whenever, when my thumb gets tired from fidgeting some of the stronger magnet things or ripping spinners over and over again. I've got an old thumb injury on the middle joint right there where my ring finger is that gets irritated. So ones like this where they're smaller and have a smaller range of motion, they get easier on the on my joints if they're starting to get a little irritated. Yeah. Oh, last slider, pause maze slider, super weak magnets, but it was a gift, so I love it, and it's really pretty. But the magnets are just they're too weak. Oh, and my own piece, scepter number 9, dynamic inertia. This is on a bearing. It's a tungsten spinner, an FZ HC3 hybrid ceramic. No, HC4. Cool little fidget. Hard to drop, easy to rip, comfortable. Lots of really nice exotic materials. Spins for like 3 to 4 minutes too on a good rip. Don't have to have wings to get good spins. Yeah, I guess I think that's all of them. See y'all.